Next up in the workshop, Santa's not the only guy in a big red suit.
Hey guys, welcome back to the workshop. Welcome back to the new paint pit, as I like to say. And we are going to continue working on Krampus. So while you guys were away doing whatever it is that you guys do, I gave the Krampus a quick wash of purple, Gucci violet on the main part, and Agrexar shade for the horns. So now what we're going to do is light up the studio, get it all nice and bright. We are going to pull out probably my medium bait. No, we're going to pull out a workhorse today, I think. Now I just have to find it. They like to hide. Well, we'll start with you. Yeah, that's the medium base, but I think that'll do. So we are going to go back to the Galvorback red. And we're going to start re-highlighting some of the areas. Leaving that violet color in the deepest recesses. Yeah, as you do. There we are. So you can see what we're doing here is we're just kind of re-highlighting, bringing out some of the higher textures. On the robe, while leaving that nice purple dark color in the deepest of the folds. And we're using a larger brush to do all this kind of stuff because this is a far larger piece. Larger pieces, at least at the start, demand larger brushes. And if you go, if you're going over the same spot multiple times, building up the color, that's perfect. That's basically what we want to do. Is we want to build up our colors. Keep our folds all nice and, well, they don't have to be crisp because folds really aren't crisp. But you do want to kind of keep where, the deepest parts kind of in. In that darker color. Now, it can be a slow process. And trust me, it'll be worth it in the end. Or, I think it will be anyway. You kind of want to keep your paint fairly thin, fairly watered down. Use multiple layers to build up. Big flat spots like this. I'm going to use I'm just going to get all that same color. Now there's going to be a little bit of variation. Again, what you want to do is you want to try and just hit the high spots, leave those low spots. To help the paint flow and to help you give that A little bit look. Don't worry about if you're going, if you're going back and going back over spots that you've already done. Don't worry about it. Just means that you're building up the color. That's really all it does. You might not catch everything right off the hop. To go back and try and figure out where you still need to fill in, build up your color. To me, that arm is starting to look quite good. I mean, I still have to try and do the inside, but now we're just moving on, working our way around. Building up our color, leaving the recesses dark. There we go. You can see the robes are starting to come to life. I mean, we have a long way to go. But we're gonna get there. We are going to get there. Now I mean, we've only been doing this just shy 15 minutes. And we've at least worked our way around the majority of it. Now remember, this is just reapplying the base coat, the original color that we started with, and it's building up the coats and leaving those recesses dark. This is quite a fun little thing to do. I've never actually painted a 3D print before. But it's first time for everything. And after that, you kind of know what to expect if you do it again. But every situation is different. Every little bit is not quite the same, but you have a good idea as to what to expect. And I like that. The first time can be very scary because you're like, well, you know, I've never painted on this kind of material before. I don't really know what to expect. I could wreck the whole thing. And every one of those are valid concerns and valid fears. And it's actually one of the things that I have issues with myself. Well, what happens if I wreck it? Then what do I do? But I've learned with paint, just paint over it and start again. Kind of. This is kind of what I've been following with all of my miniatures that I paint. If something is just not working, I just paint over it and start again. Either paint straight over or possibly reprime. But as you do more and more things, probably less and less mistakes you'll make. Possibly. I'm not going to say that it's 100%. You can make a mistake at any time. Choose a wrong color that just doesn't sit right with you. There we are. I've got got the majority down. Let's bring up some more color in the back, but we're just kind of giving him that dark purple, well, dark red, purpley red, instead of the bright Santa Claus red. There we are. So what we're going to do actually is we're going to have to build up a little bit more on some other sides. But we're going to worry about that later. We are going to grab my other workhorse. It's the regimental brush from Army Painter. And we are going to grab some World Bearers Red. Maybe. Go to my wall of colors. Stack of red. There we are. I'm going to water it down too. And now what we're going to do is the same thing that we've always done, that you've seen me do. We're going to put this along the the higher points. Kind of give us a bit of a, you know, basically we're working up the highlights is what we're doing. So now we're catching more of the folds. And a slightly sharper well, more to the point, more right on top of the folds. There you go. As you can see, it's starting to help really bring out that detail. You know, it looks a little, you know, it looks a little weird on camera, but it's actually fairly subtle. And you know, it looks pretty sharp and right out there. It actually looks pretty good. And of course, we're just going to continue our way around the whole of the figurine. I mean, I suppose it's still a miniature in a sense. But it's really not. It's starting to look pretty good. So, alright guys, basically what I'm going to do is I am going to continue doing the highlights. All around the Krampus. At least the first stage of highlights. And then you'll see a whole different side. You'll see kind of what he looks like. All finished. Or at least parts of the red robes finished. So we'll put him right there so you can kind of see the top. And then after that we have one more highlight to do on the robes, and that one's going to be on even the sharper points and even less than what I'm doing here. And then we're going to start doing the white. Which here. Well, you get the idea. Anyway, until then, stay safe, paint safe, and we'll see you in the workshop.